Welcome, Rising Builders, to a conversation I've been so eager to have. There's this powerful statement often attributed to Malcolm X it doesn't let you off the hook. It says, when the people don't know their history, they struggle to understand their present. And when the present becomes unclear, the future becomes negotiable. And honestly, when I hear that, it's more than just a philosophy, it's an alarm bell, an identity alarm.
An identity alarm. I love that, Aaron, because it really encapsulates that feeling, doesn't it? That subtle disconnect, that lingering question many of us have felt at different points in our lives. Who am I really, and what am I truly capable of building? It's not just a historical problem, it's deeply personal.
Exactly, Rose, and I'm speaking directly to that feeling today. I see you, I believe in you, and I'm convinced something powerful is stirring in this generation. This isn't just about reading something and moving on. This is an invitation to alignment. It's a moment to consider what truly becomes possible when we stop trying to adapt to systems that were never built for us, and instead start building our own transformative ones.
And it feels like there's a real shift happening, doesn't it? It's not subtle anymore. People are waking up to this idea that the old ways just aren't serving us, especially when it comes to education. We've seen so many trying to patch up broken systems, but you're talking about something fundamentally different, structural even.
Absolutely, it's structural. And let me paint a picture for you, Rose. Imagine a real table, not just a symbolic one, but a physical table. And around it sit pastors, teachers, dedicated educators, insightful administrators. These are men and women who are shaping minds, stewarding souls, investing in the future. For far too long, they've been siloed, separated by systems that artificially divide, calling from curriculum, spirit from structure, identity from instruction. But now, they're sitting together.
Together. That's powerful. Not waiting for permission, not seeking validation, but actively building. And what's emerging from that table? Is it just another school or a program?
No, it's so much more than that, Rose. What's emerging is an entire ecosystem, a comprehensive educational system, all under the guiding vision of the West Philadelphia Billionaire Society. It's rooted firmly in identity, powered by true ownership, and guided by an undeniable purpose. We're talking about something holistic.
The West Philadelphia Billionaire Society. That name itself is a statement. And this idea of an ecosystem, it implies something self-sustaining, something thriving from within. So when education isn't outsourced to systems that, as you said, weren't designed to fully affirm identity, what changes? What does that actually look like for a child?
Everything changes. Imagine a child no longer being introduced to themselves through fragmented or diluted narratives. That's been the norm for so long, right? Instead, they are grounded in legacy. Their African heritage isn't just an occasional sidebar or a Black History Month footnote. It becomes a foundational thread, beautifully woven into their daily learning experience.
So they're learning about the depth of civilizations, the brilliance of scholars, the innovation of builders whose stories have often been minimized or completely erased from mainstream narratives.
Exactly. They learn about leaders whose contributions shaped the world long before their stories were simplified or, frankly, stolen. This isn't about some romanticized nostalgia. This is about restoration. When a child understands that their story didn't begin in limitation, when they see themselves as part of a grand, rich, powerful lineage, their sense of possibility just naturally expands. Identity stabilizes, confidence rises, and their expectation shifts entirely. It's no longer about merely surviving. It's about true significance.
That's a profound shift, from survival to significance. And from that strong foundation of identity, how does the actual curriculum transform? What does civics look like, or economics in this new model?
Oh, it's incredible. Civics moves beyond just passive participation, voting once in a while, into active ownership. Students aren't just learning about government, they're learning how to govern and build their own communities. Economics becomes practical and lived. It's not just about how money works in theory, but how it circulates within a community, how it multiplies, how it builds collective strength. We're talking about real-world application, not just textbook theories.
So it's not just about understanding money, it's about building wealth for the collective good. And what about other subjects? Science, art, language.
Science becomes a field of boundless discovery, fueled by an innate curiosity that's been awakened by their understanding of their own legacy of innovation. Art becomes a vibrant space of authentic expression, a way to convey their unique perspective and identity. Language transforms from something that can erode their spirit into a powerful tool of empowerment, a way to shape their world. Learning isn't disconnected information, it becomes integrated formation. It's all connected, all building towards who they are and who they're becoming.
Integrated formation, that's a beautiful way to put it. And beyond the curriculum itself, you mentioned a profound cultural shift. What does that entail within this system? Because often, schools can be environments of intense competition, right?
Absolutely, and that's precisely what shifts. Competition loosens its grip. Cooperation rises powerfully in its place. When a child's identity is secure, when they know who they are and their inherent worth, there's no need to compete for validation or worth. They start seeing one another not as rivals to be overcome, but as collaborators, as reflections of their own potential, as partners in building something greater. It changes everything, not just how they learn, but how they live and interact with the world.
Wow, that sounds like a completely different world within the school walls, an environment of shared purpose, collective growth, mutual advancement. And how does that affect the actual experience of learning for the students?
Abby goes, it becomes something entirely different. It becomes engaging, dynamic, and I truly believe even joyful. It's not something forced or endured like so many of us remember school being. It's pursued. When a student truly knows who they are, learning becomes a tool for their own expression, not a burden they have to carry. Curiosity awakens, participation naturally increases, and excellence isn't some pressured demand, but a natural, almost inevitable outcome.
Joyful learning. That's what every parent dreams of for their child. Now, Aaron, I have to ask about something that might be a tension point for some listeners. You're describing a comprehensive, high-quality system. How is it funded? Is it a private school? What's the economic model behind the West Philadelphia Billionaires Society?
That's a critical question, Rose, and I appreciate you raising it. This system is free, but not in the sense of being without value. It's free because it is owned. It's funded and sustained by a collective economic engine, a community that fundamentally understands that education isn't an expense to be cut or endured. It's an investment in identity, in capacity, in generational continuity. This is where the vision of the West Philadelphia Billionaire Society truly moves from a beautiful concept to tangible infrastructure, from an idea to practical implementation.
So it's a self-sustaining model, driven by community ownership and investment. That's revolutionary. It bypasses all the limitations and compromises that come with relying on external systems. This is no longer a what-if conversation, is it? It's much more urgent than that.
Exactly. The what-if question is far too limited for what is unfolding right now. This is a win moment, and the real question for everyone listening becomes one of alignment. Who will sit at this table? Who will bring their unique gifts, their expertise, their calling to contribute to something that is designed to outlive them? When pastors disciple with a deep economic awareness, when educators teach with profound spiritual alignment, and when administrators build with ownership firmly in mind, the system doesn't just function, it multiplies. It truly multiplies.
So schools aren't just buildings, they become centers of transformation. Families aren't passive recipients, they become active partners. And communities aren't just places, they evolve into vibrant ecosystems of excellence and shared responsibility. It really feels like this becomes intensely personal at some point, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, Rose. I invite everyone listening to consider for a moment what your life might have looked like if your identity had been affirmed from the very beginning, if your history had been fully taught, and if your education had been aligned with purpose and ownership. That reflection isn't meant to create regret. It's meant to awaken responsibility. What may not have been given to us can now be built by us. That's how legacy is truly formed. That's how restoration becomes generational.
That's powerful, Aaron. It's a call to action wrapped in a personal invitation. It's not just about agreeing with the vision, it's about getting involved, participating in the building.
Precisely. This is about restoring identity, reclaiming our narrative, and rebuilding structures that truly empower rather than diminish. It's about ensuring that future generations don't have to spend their lives recovering from confusion because they were never disconnected from their truth in the first place. There's a seat at this table, Rising Rebuilder, and it's not reserved for someone else. It is available to those who are willing to align, to engage, and to build.
So for anyone feeling that identity alarm, anyone ready to be a part of this transformative movement, what's the next step, Aaron?
Lean in and take that next step. Visit mx3motivationalbooks.com. Explore the full vision of the West Philadelphia Billionaire Society and get the blueprint into your hands. Study it, share it, place it in the hands of those who influence minds and shape futures. Movements aren't sustained by ideas alone. They grow through people who decide to participate, who decide to build. And if you've listened this far, there's a strong possibility that you're not here to observe. You are here to build. This is the moment. Let's build it together.
What an incredible vision, Aaron. Thank you for sharing this with us and for lighting that path forward. Rising Rebuilders, you heard it here. Go to mx3motivationalbooks.com. This is more than a movement. It's a future we're all invited to create. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Rose. It's an honor to share this journey with you and with all our listeners. Let's get to work.